Hello everyone, welcome to Level Up Quiz. Shall we solve the quiz today? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and set the alarm. Let's get started.
X-ray. Level 1. Who invented X-rays?
Wilhelm Röntgen.
What year were X-rays discovered?
(1895).
X-rays are a type of what kind of radiation?
Electromagnetic radiation.
What do X-rays help doctors to view?
Bones.
What does an X-ray machine produce?
Images. So far so good?
X-rays can be used to detect what type of issues?
Fractures.
What color do bones appear on an X-ray?
White.
What do X-rays pass through to create images?
Body tissues.
X-rays are used to diagnose which kind of disease in the chest?
Pneumonia.
What protective gear is often worn during an X-ray?
Lead apron. Cheer up.
What body part cannot be X-rayed without risk?
Eyes.
What type of imaging technique uses X-rays?
X-ray imaging.
What type of X-ray is commonly used for dental checks?
Dental X-ray.
What type of X-ray is used for checking the breasts?
Mammography.
What does an X-ray image of the chest usually show?
Lungs. Keep going.
What do X-rays help to detect in the lungs?
Tuberculosis.
What is a key feature of X-rays in medical imaging?
Non-invasive.
What part of the X-ray machine produces the radiation?
Tube.
What type of X-ray is used for bone fractures?
Radiography.
What is used to protect from excessive X-ray exposure?
Shielding.
X-ray. Level 2. What should patients avoid before getting an X-ray?
Metal objects.
What kind of waves do X-rays belong to?
High-frequency waves.
What do X-rays create in the body to form an image?
Shadows.
What is one common medical use of X-rays?
Detecting fractures.
What part of the X-ray process detects radiation?
Film. So far so good?
What part of the X-ray equipment emits the X-rays?
Cathode.
What type of X-ray is used to check for cancer?
Mammogram.
Which type of medical professional analyzes X-ray images?
Radiologist.
What is the danger of excessive X-ray exposure?
Radiation damage.
What does an X-ray help detect in the abdominal area?
Blockages. Cheer up.
Which organs are usually protected from X-rays during scans?
Reproductive organs.
What do doctors use X-rays for in the lungs?
Detecting infections.
What protective material absorbs X-rays?
Lead.
What color do soft tissues appear on an X-ray?
Gray.
What form of X-ray is often used for dental imaging?
Bite wing X-ray. Keep going.
What is the primary risk of X-rays?
Radiation exposure.
What does an X-ray image of a broken bone show?
Fracture lines.
What type of radiation is produced by X-ray machines?
Ionizing radiation.
What is the term for an X-ray scan of the chest?
Chest X-ray.
What color does air appear in an X-ray image?
Black.
X-ray. Level 3. What is the main risk of repeated exposure to X-rays?
Cancer.
What body part is typically scanned first in a medical X-ray?
Chest.
What is the main purpose of a dental X-ray?
Check teeth.
What kind of X-ray is used to examine the stomach area?
Abdominal X-ray.
What do X-rays help detect in dental exams?
Cavities. So far so good?
What does an X-ray detect in the lungs?
Tumors.
What kind of waves are X-rays?
Electromagnetic waves.
What type of body part can X-rays not clearly show?
Soft tissues.
Which imaging technique uses X-rays for real-time images?
Fluoroscopy.
What does an X-ray of the abdominal area typically examine?
Intestines. Cheer up.
What technology uses X-rays to examine the body's interior?
CT scan.
What type of X-ray is used to detect bone fractures?
Conventional X-ray.
Which medical imaging uses X-rays to observe heart conditions?
Angiography.
What body system do X-rays commonly assess?
Skeletal system.
What organ can X-rays help evaluate in trauma cases?
Brain. Keep going.
What do X-rays help detect in the chest?
Fluid buildup.
Which part of the body does a mammogram target?
Breasts.
What is the most common side effect of radiation exposure?
Skin burns.
Which X-ray is used to evaluate the spine in detail?
Spinal X-ray.
Which professional is responsible for performing X-ray procedures?
Radiologic technologist.
X-ray. Level 4. What is a fluoroscopy used to examine in real time?
Internal organs.
What is a CT scan primarily used for?
Cross-sectional images.
What does a CT scan combine with X-rays for detailed imaging?
Computer processing.
What is the key difference between X-rays and gamma rays?
Origin.
Which field of medicine uses X-rays to diagnose fractures?
Orthopedics. So far so good?
What is a common risk factor for X-ray-induced damage?
Excessive exposure.
What does a pelvic X-ray examine?
Pelvis and hips.
What type of X-ray can show soft tissue injuries?
MRI.
Which part of the X-ray machine focuses the radiation beam?
Collimator.
What is the role of a radiologist in X-ray imaging?
Image interpretation. Cheer up.
What does an X-ray of the abdomen usually detect?
Obstructions.
What imaging technique uses X-rays for viewing the gastrointestinal tract?
Barium swallow.
What is the method used to enhance visibility in X-ray images?
Contrast agents.
What is a key advantage of digital X-rays over traditional X-rays?
Faster processing.
What type of medical imaging uses X-rays to visualize the heart's blood vessels?
Coronary angiography. Keep going.
What is the typical contrast material used in X-ray imaging?
Barium sulfate.
What is the difference between a plain X-ray and a CT scan?
Detail level.
What part of the body is examined using a fluoroscopy?
Digestive system.
What process uses X-rays to create detailed, layered body images?
Computed tomography.
What is an advantage of digital over film-based X-rays?
Immediate results.
X-ray. Level 5. What is the primary risk of radiation exposure from X-rays?
Mutations.
What was the first documented use of X-rays in medicine?
Broken bones.
What is the function of the collimator in an X-ray machine?
Focus the beam.
What effect does high exposure to X-rays have on tissue?
Cell damage.
What term describes X-rays' ability to pass through soft tissue?
Penetration. So far so good?
What is the name of the contrast material commonly used for X-ray imaging?
Barium.
What is the function of a dosimeter in relation to X-rays?
Measure radiation.
What technology is used to convert X-ray images into digital formats?
Digital radiography.
What is the term for the procedure where a small amount of contrast material is injected during an X-ray?
Contrast fluoroscopy.
Which imaging system uses X-rays to create a 3D image of the body?
CT scanner. Cheer up.
What is the typical range of radiation in dental X-rays compared to a chest X-ray?
Lower.
What is the primary use of fluoroscopy?
Real-time imaging.
What part of the body is typically imaged using a pelvic X-ray?
Pelvis.
What is one of the key concerns of frequent X-ray exposure for medical personnel?
Radiation sickness.
What type of X-ray technique is used in emergency medicine for trauma patients?
Trauma radiography. Keep going.
What does a typical dental X-ray examine?
Teeth and bones.
What material is used to reduce radiation exposure in X-ray tubes?
Tungsten.
What medical procedure uses X-rays to assess the blood vessels of the heart?
Coronary angiography.
What does a CT scan provide over a standard X-ray?
Detailed slices.
What is the term for the examination of the spine using X-rays?
Spinal radiography. Congratulations! Move on to the next topic. Come on.